I didn't start off thinking I wanted to be President of the United States. When I finally stopped fooling around and I wanted to get serious. What I decided was that I wanted to help people in low-income communities, poor people, have opportunity. And so I went to work in poor neighborhoods in Chicago. And because I was interested in the work, I started asking questions. Okay, how can I get more education dollars for these communities? How can I get better housing built in these communities? And that's when I became more aware of how politics worked. And I started asking questions about how could I have more influence and how could I build organizations that could potentially deliver the things that I was interested in. And that's what led me into politics. But I didn't start off saying I want to be president. I started off saying I wanted to help these people. So that's my most important advice. Decide what it is that you care about deeply, and then put everything you have into doing that. If you're interested in social media and you want to start a company, then focus on that. And if you're interested in healthcare for people in villages around Vietnam, focus on that. And if you get good at that, naturally you'll end up being a leader. And you'll have opportunities to do great things in the future. All right? Good. Okay, it's a young lady's turn. There you go. Since you got such a when you've got the patty hat with the thank you, Obama. Question, I am. So thank you very much, President, for your very inspiring speeches. President Obama, well, you've got a shirt for me. Question, it would be my honor if you accept this gift. President Obama, well, that's a beautiful shirt. Question, 7 days. President Obama, 7 days. But I do think that one of the great things about your generation is that you're already much more conscious about the environment than my generation was or previous generations were. And that's really important not only to preserve beautiful sites in our countries, but also because economic development and the well-being and the health of your people and everyone. Around the world is going to depend on how we deal with some of these environmental issues. Now, to some degree, this is not fair, I think it's important to note. Because if you think about Western industrial development, before we knew anything about climate change, they used enormous amounts of carbon energy. And we in the United States have a huge carbon footprint, and for 100 years, or 150 years, we're helping to warm the planet. So it's not entirely fair, then, to say to countries that are developing now, well, you have to stop because of climate change. But the problem is that if a country like Vietnam, or China, or India took the same development path that the West did, we're all going to be underwater. Because the climate is going to warm up so quickly and the climate patterns are going to change, that, in fact, the terrible consequences could actually impede development rather than advance development. That's why we had this agreement in Paris to have all countries join together to deal with climate change. And what it says is that each country at different stages of development have different obligations. The United States, we have to do more. Countries like China that are large have to do more. But everybody has to do something. And we all have an obligation then also to help developing countries find new paths for energy. And development that are environmentally friendly, developing clean energy strategies that can leapfrog over the old. Dirty industries and immediately go to the clean industries. Now, the good news is I think that can happen. Because if you think about everybody here has a cell phone, right? Everybody has a smartphone? Yes. You do. Of course, you do. Well, in many countries like Vietnam. You didn't start off with a lot of phone towers and digging and laying telephone lines under the ground. You leapfrogged the old technologies and immediately went to a cellular technology and a wireless technology. Well, the same thing that we're doing with communications, that's what we need to do with energy. And so, instead of going through the same energy usage in developing and providing electricity and power, we need to start immediately finding cleaner energy sources. Which can create jobs and businesses and opportunities all throughout this region. and I'm very excited about the possibilities of doing that. So we have to think about beautiful areas that need to be preserved. But we also have to recognize that no matter how well we preserve one or two areas in each country, if the overall climate patterns change radically, then we're all going to be in a really difficult situation. And you're already starting to see the effects of climate change here in Vietnam. I think this country is going to be one of the most affected. And in some place like the Mekong Delta, you have drought on the one hand. But you also have saline intrusion on the other hand. And that could have a huge impact on Vietnam's ability to feed its people, on fishermen, on farmers. And it could be a really, really big problem if we don't do something about it. So it's going to be up to you to start, and I'm going to want to partner with you to make that happen. Thanks for the t-shirt also. Alright, so let's see. You got flags and everything. Question, good morning, President Obama. I'm from study abroad, which brings American students to come to Vietnam to learn. My question is that, as you said earlier, Isiali initiative, and I know that you want to leave the White House very soon, but I'm wondering, when you leave, do you come up any plans to handle for the next president to maintain this very good idea? Thanks. President Obama, well, it's a great question. This is something that we're already planning. Our expectation is that the next president will want to continue the incredible work that we've done with the ICIALI. It's not just, by the way, young people in Southeast Asia that we're doing this with. We have a Young Africa Leaders program that involves young people from 50 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. We have a Latin American version that brings young people together. And at some point, we're going to bring key leaders from each of these areas so that they can start learning from each other. And our hope is that the State Department will continue this program. But one of the things people always ask me, what am I going to do after I leave the presidency? Because I'm so relatively young, not compared to you, but compared to other presidents, I'm pretty young. And I don't know everything that I'm going to do. But the one thing I do know I will continue to work on is developing young leaders in the United States and around the world. So, in addition to my hope that the next president continues the program through the State Department, I'll make sure that through my philanthropy and my own work that we're continuing to bring young people together so that we can start building the kind of talent that knows each other and is networked and is connected, and is learning from each other. Because that's what it's going to take for countries in the future to be able to solve these big problems. If you ask me what I'm most excited about in terms of my legacy 20 years from now, I would feel really good if I see 10,000 or 20,000, or 50,000 young leaders who are now taking over governments. and businesses and non-profit organizations, and they now know each other from different countries, and they've worked together, and they've built trust, and they've built relationships. And if I can help facilitate that, that would be something that I'd be very proud of. So you can guarantee that I'll continue to work on this. All right, yes, right here. Oops. Is it working? You might need to use mine. Okay, there you go. Just in time. Question, good morning, President Obama. I'm a Issy Ali Academy Fellow, presently at the University of Montana. President Obama, excellent. How do you like Montana? Question, it's not cold, it is hot. President Obama, oh, it's very cold. You just haven't. Have you gone through January yet? Question, summer. President Obama, when did you get there? Question, June through August. President Obama, yes, it's not cold in June and August. Question, yes. I love it. President Obama, yes, it's lovely. You have gorgeous mountains. Have you learned how to fish? Question, yes.